The DJI Pocket 3 has been released about 2 years ago, but has been one of the best-selling cameras even in 2024, and personally, one of my favourites. But I've recently discovered a few accessories that makes up the shortcomings of the Pocket 3 and even adds functionality to it. If you personally own a DJI Pocket 3 or just want to find out what accessories is best for it, then this video will be quite interesting. Before we continue, just some light disclaimer. All these items that I'm about to mention on my DJI Pocket 3 are not sponsored at all. I just searched them out in my own accord and bought them with my own money. Therefore, I have no bias with promoting any of them. And I'll also be leading the price as well as the cons right at the end to keep this video organized. Now, the first one is VND Filter. Now, if you guys own a DJI Pocket 3 or other cameras, you know that to maintain a certain natural motion blur, you need to put it at about 1/50th. Here's a quick example of how different shutter speed looks like. But it's hard to maintain it, especially in the open. As you can see from my screen, it's totally blown out. Now, the solutions are to get VND filters, and this is the one from another brand, which is Noel, but it's actually a fixed ND. So this one has a fixed ND about, you can see, about 16. So when we put it, first of all, it's actually quite thick. And second of all, it can only maintain a certain ND. This is where K&F VND filter comes in. Let's remove this. Okay, let's take a closer look first. So what's great about this ND filter is that you can look up close. It's actually a variable ND. I can actually turn this and you can see the ND being adjusted. Another thing about this is that it's extremely thin. Compared with this regular ND, it's almost twice as thin. So all I have to do is just to attach this onto the front element of the DJI Pocket 3. And I can simply just turn the knob on the top, turn the ring, to adjust it. This is extremely useful as when you're outdoors, the brightness tends to vary, and this is a perfect solution. The next shortcoming of the DJI Pocket 3 is that it can't stand on its own. By default, it actually looks like this. As you can see, there's no 1/4" screw adapter. If you need one, you need to attach their base, which actually comes with the DJI Pocket 3 Creators Combo. And of course, the mini tripod, which also comes with the combo. So with these two accessories, you can finally make it stand. But the profile of the Pocket 3 is drastically increased. And needless to say, it took some time for me to assemble. That is where this accessory comes in. Now this is the Ulanzi mounting base for the DJI Pocket 3. It actually comes in two sections, the tripod feet and the attachment itself. So what's convenient about this is all I have to do is just to put this over here. And all I have to do is just push it down. And it can stand on its own. And once I lift it up, you can see the feet just comes back together. Let's take a look again. While the traditional one, or the one that comes with the set, I will need to pry open its feet to make it stand. One also very interesting thing about this attachment is that at the back, you do not lose the USB-C. You can actually charge it while this thing is being attached. So in size comparison, you can see this is really tiny compared to this. Of course, this comes with an inbuilt battery, but in all honesty, I've been using the Pocket 3 for quite a while, but I have never shot enough that I needed the battery. Our next accessory is not about shortcomings, but rather adding functionality. Now this is the Sunny Life Mag stand, magnetic stand. So this is an interesting bracket that you can attach to your DJI Pocket 3. So all I have to do is just to put this thing over here and align with the buttons, and at the side, clamp it down. So this thing at the back acts as also as a tripod stand. So let's say if I do not have the base over here, let's remove it. I can actually put it over here, and as you can see, it stands on its own. It stands on its own. But what's interesting at the back is obviously its magnetic stand over here, which I can attach to different things to get me very interesting perspective. Okay, I do not know why, but actually my camera is sinking a little. Let's adjust it first. Alright, we are back up. So let's give this thing a shot. Okay, so we are walking right over here, and just let's attach this at this stand over here. And I'll change it to selfie mode. And as you can see, I am able to attach it to anything that's metallic to give me a very interesting perspective. Okay, let's find somewhere else. Okay, let's try this one. Ta-da! Here are other metallic surfaces that works too. The last accessory is about protection. Now, if you bought the DJI Pocket 3's Creator Combo, it actually comes with this casing. This casing is great and all, but there's one strong flaw. Big flaw. So when I attach this thing in, you can see on all sides it's actually protected. Except for this one. If you look up close, you can see there are actually scratches on my DJI Pocket 3. All this is due to the stuff that I actually put along my bag that actually hits and scratches off the surface of it. This is where this from Sony Life comes in. Now this is a lens hood which actually protects the whole gimbal by itself. So how does it work is that from here, you will place the front cover over here, and you can look at the back, it actually fits in everything nicely. And all you have to do is just close it, and it's completely protected, at least for the top sensitive elements. You can see once I turn it around, only the sides and the back are exposed, which I think is actually really convenient and brilliant, especially if you are like me, who wants to pack a lot of things into your bag and things tend to scratch your camera elements. So let's talk about its downsides as well as the pricing of each of these items that I mentioned. Starting from the lens hood, now this lens hood itself comes in at only 15 USD. Now the shortcoming of this is that you can see it only supports filters that you put onto your camera. They have a certain thickness. So let's say if I were to use my other regular filter. Okay, let's remove it. So once it closes, you can see it actually flips to the side because it can't close completely in due to its thickness. So if you were to use this one along with it, you will see it's unable to close. It's too fat for it. It only specifically closes once this camera element is twisting at the side. So if we change back, okay, by the way guys, there's a lot of mosquito over here. I forgot to bring my spray and I'm getting lots of bites. So you have to attach this back in. You can see now, it fits in just nice. So do note that not all brand manufacturers of VND or NDs to make their filters that thin to be able to allow your camera to close this way. Talking about this, what is the downside of this ND filter itself? Okay, let's on it. Now the downside of this ND filter is that you might see a slight X when you are actually filming it. Most of the time, it's actually very hard to notice, but it's unavoidable. Most ND filters out there will have a certain vignetting, or VNDs will have this X due to it trying to change to a different variable, to a different level of ND. The ND itself costs about 20 to 30 USD, depending if you are getting it on sale or not, but I managed to get it about 24 USD, which is rather affordable and reasonable. You don't want to find yourself getting tons of ND to be able to switch in and out, especially when you're outdoors like this. It's extremely inconvenient, and dust and particles do get into it, which can actually hinder the quality of your footages. Next is the Sony Life Mag mount. So remember the mount that we actually put it up over here? You can see it does add quite a bulk to it. So you have to put it in your pocket. It's a little hard to get in, but of course it adds functionality to it, which is its main purpose, which is great. Now you might be wondering, James, I actually saw another one that is from Ulanzi that's more functional. Yes, I actually saw it too. but it comes in about 50 USD. Albeit you can add lights and other accessories to it, but this only costs about 15 USD. Exactly same as my lens hood. So you're talking about a 3 times price difference between this and a more functional but expensive mounting base. And at the end, do you really need lights? If you're like me, you almost never use lights with the DJI Pocket 3 as you're filming in the day. And this itself does not have a big sensor size, meaning it does not do well in low light conditions. But one thing to take note, the model that I have over here is a slightly older one. The newer ones do feature action camera mount, which I think is really useful, which I think you should get. Last but not least is of course its base, the Ulanzi PK-11. Now this thing itself comes in about 30 USD. Now you might be wondering, that isn't as cheap as I thought it would be, but you're actually talking about a good build. When I hit against it, this whole thing is metallic and feels really durable, compared to the other things that I mentioned which are more plasticky in nature. So despite its slightly high price tag, I think this is extremely useful. I can't find any other competitors out there with similar design. To sum things up, this whole thing will set you back about 80 USD, which is about 10% of the DJI Pocket 3's creator combo. If you ask me, definitely go for it. All these different accessories will help you enjoy the filming process much more, as well as give you additional functions which you will definitely appreciate. So what do you guys think? And which is your favorite accessory? Or are there other accessories that you think I should look at? I'm curious. Let me know down in the comments below. If not, see you guys in the next video.